Hello, here we are with Mookie Tenembaum in this series of videos that explores his philosophy of disillusionism, of his misalgic theory. For the first time now, we are doing something different. This is not one of the short videos in which we describe and define his concepts and his system of thought. We are indulging here in a longer exercise, commenting, as it were, on things as they happen, on the news, not from a periodistical, journalistic point of view, but from a philosophical point of view. We are now around the end of August, beginning of September 2020, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. And we are going to hear from Mookie a philosophical approach of what's going on.
Okay, yes, this is our first English version of the news of the week, the item of the week, and this time we'll talk about conspiracy theories. Now, we have been hearing a lot about conspiracy theories all around. We know about Bill Gates' intention of introducing microchips to each one of us and then controlling us. We know about Soros' intention of dominating us somehow. I don't know how Soros, a 90-year-old man, plans to. And then we have many others, including that the Chinese did it on purpose, that the Americans did it on purpose, and so forth. Now, to explain how disillusionism deals with this problem, with this issue, I will tell you a new conspiracy theory made by me, which of course is not true, like any other of the other theories. But by giving you this example, I think that I can graphically explain what I'm talking about. Basically, what do we know about every person who has been diagnosed with COVID, with corona? What do we know? We know one thing. Everybody, I mean, every person who has been diagnosed with COVID has been tested with the PCR, the thing that you put the Q-tip that goes into your nose and your mouth, yes? So what if we are really getting sick, or they are getting sick, because of the Q-tip? Because the Q-tip is already infected, and that's the way you get sick. Listen, it's 100% of the cases. So you can how can you argue with that? It's 100%. It's also quite unusual that something is 100% anywhere. There's always accident exceptions, not here. You could always claim that I'm wrong because some of the tests are negative. Well, exactly, because those who do it, because they're afraid that they will be caught, they just do it to a percentage. Sometimes they get greedy, and you get 30% of those who are tested get corona. Yeah? And some of them are less greedy, and 5%, 3%, 2%, and of positive results. That depends on the pharmaceutical company who is behind this, because you see, look, there is 167 vaccines that are now in the pipeline. Why 167 vaccines? Why does Egypt need to have a vaccine, or Nigeria, or Argentina, or Cuba, countries that are very far from being able to make a vaccine? The answer is probably, again, following my false. Again, I have to say, because we may find somebody who may believe that this is true, but according to my conspiracy theory, they are all in the business. Everybody wants to make a buck. That's the reason there's so many of those, because everybody wants to make money. They don't want the Americans getting all the money from this of course, budgets and huge budget that people do to buy the vaccine. So, and the vaccine, of course, will work. All of the vaccines, because they already knew when they would put it in our nose. This is how a conspiracy theory is built. That's how it's built. You know something? I'll challenge you try to challenge my theory, and I will show you how a conspiracy theorist answers.
I know you're playing the conspiracy theorist, so I am bound to lose here. But let me say that at least some of the tests rely on blood samples. So there's no Q-tip there. There are just needles and pinpricks. And as far as I know, some people have tested positive after they were dead in the autopsy, in the post-mortem conducted. So there was no Q-tip there either.
Excellent questions, but exactly the answer is there. To avoid people thinking that it is a Q-tip, they do it also with blood. So they infect you with blood. Look, isn't this unusual that there is no saliva test or urine test, something that or that you can do your test at home by yourself? There is no such a thing. They are saying all the time, yes, we're getting new tests. There will be saliva, it will be this, it will be that, but we don't get it then. They're still using PCR, and in fact, it's the only accepted test today. Okay, there's 24 million people who have been diagnosed with corona, and all of them have been Q-tipped. Yes, all of them has been introduced and the Q-tip in their nose, and of course putting the coronavirus in them. Of course, that were made by the same pharmaceutical company. And about the dead people, how do you know that they tested true? They tested positive? We don't know. You don't know. I don't know. Of course, and go ask the dead person. He's dead already. Yes. So when they don't have enough people, so they use also the dead people. So they also get you're being more scared. It's scarier, really, not more scared. It's scarier if also the dead are being tested. I mean, you cannot even go to a cemetery when they're being when somebody died of corona. We don't even see if they're buried. We're just being told he's buried in there, and there is a nice placard. You cannot touch it because we can all get infected. Something also very unusual. I mean, if he's dead, how is he going to breathe on me? Contagion happens from breathing. You see, this is the way they do it. Exactly that way. So, what can we talk about the conspiracy theory? How this is built and why this is related to disillusionism? The first rule is that, curiously enough, to have a conspiracy theory, you need a conspiracy. You need two people making that theory up. Okay? They may think they discovered it, but they conspire in that conversation to tell it to everybody else. Yes? To make it public, to divulge it. Of course, it could be somebody who did it by himself, but in general, if there is a conspiracy, it's a conspiracy to make a conspiracy. So that's the only conspiracy that makes sense that exists. The second thing is and here we go to disillusionism. We have an illusion that a secret stays secret. But we all know that when you tell a secret, what are the chances that the person you told the secret to is going to keep it? 50%? And I'm being generous. But 50-50. Now imagine it's two people. So now it's 50 of 50 and 50-50. Now it's 25. So if you start to make a conspiracy of this size, if it's Bill Gates trying to put a microchip, you think it's Bill Gates by himself? You think he got a little chip and he himself made it, he sat at home, he prepared it, he tweaked it, and then he mass produced it, but nobody knows about it. So you need a lot of people. So it doesn't hold water because people would have told that. They are all into it, but they are super people. They never tell a secret. Come on. So we all know that a conspiracy theory it's impossible. 99% of conspiracies do not exist because people cannot keep a secret. I don't say there are no conspiracies at all, ever. Of course there are, but really, how long can they stay like that way? How long can they stay secret? The third thing has to do with intention. We spoke about it in one of the videos that we have in our channel, in the Disillusionism channel, we are going to have several videos that we are publishing, and one of them has to do with intention. Now, let me explain one thing first. Life as it happens, the way a person's life happens is that 95% of his time that he's awake, he is sleepwalking. And let me explain now again what is sleepwalking for those who could not see the video. Sleepwalking basically is a routine, a group of habits and chained one with the other, yes? So during the day, I put my shoes, I put my pants, then I put my sock, and then I put my shoes. I don't put first my shoes, then my pants, or I don't make a decision about it. It's all made every single day. And if I have to take the bus, I'll go always to the same bus station at about the same time. That way, I don't have to make decisions, because decisions are potentially suffering. If you have to make a decision, you make the wrong decision. Yes, in every time you have a decision, the chance of you making the wrong decision, that is a cause for suffering. So we just sleepwalk during the day. What happens while you're sleepwalking? You don't suffer. Remember, disillusionism is mysalgia. Mysalgia means the only thing we do during our life is running away from suffering. This is, we are not going towards any place, we are running from, okay? Life has no aims, just has reasons, causes. So we're running away, and when since we all run away, all society runs away from suffering, we are synchronized in a way that we don't step on each other. It's really a stampede. You see, life, so our social life is an organized stampede. We're all running, but we're organized. So what I was saying is that when you are going, you are being, you are sleepwalking, you don't suffer. There is no suffering because you are not thinking. About 20 minutes a day, and I'm being very careful, but studies have shown again and again that we make decisions in aggregate 20 minutes a day. Again, there is a whole issue that the whole videos that deals with sleepwalking and intentions and so forth. So when we are in an intentional mode, the intentional mode is the exception. But when we look at somebody else, we think that person is intending all the time. He or she is not sleepwalking. So if you walk in the street and somebody suddenly hit you, you think, what person is doing it? Why is he doing it to me? You will be looking for his intention. The truth is that probably he has no intention either. We're talking about 95% of the time. The chances that you will find somewhere an intention when you are sleepwalking are small. But if you do, suffering is a possibility, because now you are awake from your sleepwalking. You are totally awake, yes? In fact, your brain uses 10 times more sugar, more energy when you are on an intentional basis. So, but the illusion here all this I said because I want to say that I feel more comfortable if the pandemic was done intentionally. There is somebody I can punish, I can kill, I can negotiate with, maybe to surrender to, but there is something that I could do. When this is just, the way the pandemic is, it's an accident, the levels of uncertainty are huge. And intention gives you some kind of certainty. In general, certainty is sought after all the time. Here we are now in the most uncertain times in the modern world, I think in the last 100 years. The most uncertain times. When I mean the whole world is in an uncertain times, not just because of the Second World War. I mean, you could have events of uncertainty, but everybody now is living in uncertainty, and there is nowhere, there are no neutral countries to run away to. Yes, during the Second World War, you could run to Sweden or to Switzerland or to Spain. There is no Spain, no Switzerland, there is nothing. Everywhere COVID is there, and everywhere we have the same problem. And that feeling that of uncertainty, how do we look for certainty? So one way is to say, talks about intention. That is covered again by this theory. First of all, what do you think about all what I said till now?
I think that what with the illusion of secrecy and the illusion of intention and the illusion of someone responsible behind what's happening to us, I think you have covered the disillusionist approach to conspiracy theory. But I was longing to ask you about the other aspect of your theory, about the misalgic aspect that I think you just gave us a glance here. Is what are we running away from in terms of suffering when we indulge in a conspiracy theory? I think part of the answer you showed us already in saying that we are running away from uncertainty. But what else is there in terms of suffering? Why do we embrace conspiracy theories as we do?
Well, we embrace conspiracy theories also because, as I said, it gives you certainty. That is the explanation. That's it. Now I can go back to sleepwalking, if I can, yes, and I continue with my habits because yes, that's solved. Okay. On the other hand, also there is a question of gregariousness. You are with people. You are not conspiracy theory. You can comment it with people, talk it with people, discuss it, and reinforce each other, giving each other a little bit that reinforcement that normally the group gives to the individual. So here you have that. Then there is another fantastic thing. There is 3 ways you deal with suffering, and only 3. Yes, it's avoiding it, a relief, or distraction. And wow, what a distraction is having a conspiracy theory. That's fantastic. It's like going to the movies without going to the movies, and the movies came to you. You are part of the movies now. I mean, it's like amazing. And that is also, there is also a component of paranoia in this issue. Yes, people are paranoid because there is somebody, and that means that somebody is following me. Huh? There is an individual. There is a narcissistic part of it. They're doing it to me and to others, but I am one of them. I am one of those persecuted. Instead of I'm just sitting at home hoping, going to the next time to the supermarket, trying not to touch too many things and keeping my, I mean, it's so lame, the whole thing. And suddenly it looks much, it's like Disney, yes? It's beautiful, it's great, we have a conspiracy. It's like Roswell, yes? The aliens come here and they try to, there is no conspiracy, there is nothing, there are no aliens, there is no aliens. You would love, I mean, do you understand? We have this little world in the middle of, in the extreme of the galaxy, and we are getting people, I mean, the first they come to see us, the chances are infinitely small, but we are, and then we built on that. It's life is quite dull when you 95% of the time you sleepwalk, and when you get intention, it normally bears down in eating ice cream, vanilla or chocolate, making a choice between vanilla and or chocolate. I mean, life is quite dull, and now it's uncertain. So conspiracy theory are perfectly made for these cases.
Amazing. So I guess we'll see each other every week now, analyzing things as they develop. Been a pleasure.
Yes, the pleasure is all mine.
If you enjoyed the video, please like it, comment and subscribe.